Hi guys, welcome back. This is now issue 40 of Build the Classic Routemaster.
Oh, it's a great life on the buses. There's nothing like it, you'll agree. Just take a ride up on the buses, because there's plenty you can see. Oh, it's a great life on the buses. There is no better place to meet.
Okay, so as I said last week, I had a bit of a problem filming this. I was gaming last weekend. I was playing Elite Dangerous actually with my partner, and I muted my headset because there was some interference, and I went on to film this on Sunday and I didn't realise this was still on mute. So I filmed last week's issue and this week in mute. Last week's issue I did undo it, as you saw, and we built it from scratch. This issue I don't feel so comfortable doing that because there's some very tiny screws involved. I don't want to loosen them off, take them out, and a risk of them not screwing up again. I think that's going to be an absolute nightmare because of the level of detail we've got in this issue. So unfortunately for this issue, I'm just going to have to talk through what I've done. We'll go through each step and what order to attach things, and then I'll talk about my findings and everything like that, and hopefully that'll be enough for this week. So yeah, really sorry about that. So without further ado, let's crack on and I'll show you what the build entails. Okay, so this is the magazine. So as normal, the first thing I normally do is check off all the parts. Now this episode we're fitting accessories in the driver's cab, so this is the actual frame itself we've got, which is really nice. We've got small items including license holder, water pipes are fitted to the driver's cab, and there's also a climb handle for the driver to use as he gets into the cab. So there was quite a few parts we had in this issue. Be very careful, there's some very small parts. Part 40i, which is a relief pipe, was actually in its separate bag, and some of my screws were actually stuck to the plastic packaging as well, so be really careful when you're undoing this. The red pipe is nicely packaged individually and sellotaped to the top. Obviously I can't show you any of this, but yeah, and we've got the grab handle there, we've got a license holder, we've got a side light lens which was tiny, we've got a reflector, side light reflector, we've got the heating pipe which is the red pipe, and then we've got two water pipes, obviously 40i which is a relief pipe, and then we've got three types of screws. We've got AM, NM and JM screws. So I'll bring up what I've assembled so far. As I say, I don't feel comfortable stripping this down again because of the screws. You know, the screws are absolutely tiny and we screwed into metal, so it's obviously cut a thread into them, and if I start taking them out, I've got a worry that it's gonna, you know, they're gonna start rounding off and things and just keep spinning in holes, and that's the last thing I want for this model. So the first thing I noticed when I did unpack this was that it was not quite straight. It was at a slight angle. You can see this bit here. It just doesn't quite look right. However, I think this is perfectly normal. I had a little look at other builders out there, because obviously I keep tabs on all the other YouTubers, and you know, it's a big community and we help each other out. So they've actually helped me out by me going back to their videos, which I watch anyway. But I did look, and they seem to have the same sort of shape, and so yeah, I'm really happy that this is okay. Even though it does look a bit out of shape, I think this is normal. So I'm going to go with it and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so with that done, the first thing we had to do was install the side light lens into the cab. Now to do that, There's a notch in the side light lens, okay, and that goes into the actual frame from the inside out, and it will only go in one way. You'll see a little notch in there, so be careful when you do that. It will go in anyway, but you'll find that this next piece won't sit quite flush. So make sure the lens is in correctly. Take your time. Okay, then we're going to put a reflector over the top, and then we screwed that in with 2 AM screws. That obviously keeps the reflector in place. That went in beautifully. Okay, the next step after that was to secure the license holder onto the side through the window there. There was 2 holes here. One was a locating pin, one was the screw hole. That goes on with the license detail facing outwards, and I'll show you this. The detail, the level of detail is absolutely fantastic. Hang on. Let me see if you can see that. Let me bring you close. There you go. It says on there Feb 67. The detail is absolutely amazing. Underneath, I'm not quite sure what that says. I can't quite make that out. But you can certainly see it says there Feb 67. That's the actual license itself. So the level of detail they've gone to on this is absolutely amazing. So, with that fitted, we then turned our attention onto the pipe work. Now again, it's going to be really difficult to show you, and I can't really strip this apart because it's all push fit and it went in quite tight. So what I'll do is I'll show you the magazine for this step. So we had to push fit the peg on the end of the relief pipe into the hole on the side of the water pipe. It says there's a peg on each end of the part, and they're very similar, so make sure you have it in the right way round as shown. So you take this water pipe. I found it's the longer part there. That's how you can tell that will go into this hole. Okay, and then when we've done that, we're then going to take the 2 water pipes and we're going to plug them together like so. Okay, and then push fit the arm of the pipe 40H over the peg halfway up the heating line. So on this bar you've got a locating pin at this point here and at this point, and you've also got one pointing out from the back there. That is where we're going to plug that hole into there. Okay, and then as you see here, this is how it'll end up. So you've got the relief pipe pushed into the top there, these 2 silver parts connected, and then that went in the halfway point on this red pipe here. It's difficult to show. I mean, I'm really annoyed that I didn't, record this properly and there was no sound, because it was a really good build. But I hope you can understand the reasons why I don't really want to strip this apart. The screws were so small. I don't want to start loosening them off again at risk of everything being wobbly. Okay, so after we did that, we push fit the pegs on the heating line, and there was a screw hole. There was a hole there where this joins, and there was one just up there on this part. So that's where this push fit, it will be clipped in here and here. This side's still loose, so be careful when you're storing it, because we're only secured here and here at the moment. That's got a locating pin on it, so I assume that will connect to something later on down the line. Okay, and then with that being done, we then focus our attention onto the grab handle. So this will only go on one way. Underneath there is 3 holes. You've got a locating peg on the handle, that will line up with the 2 screw holes. If it's on the wrong way, the screws won't fit. So this will only go on one way, and then once we're done, we attach that in there with 2 JM screws. Now, normally I use my Oreo screwdriver, as you know. This was a little bit too big and cumbersome. It wouldn't fit in there to do that. So what I actually had to do was use the Routmaster screwdriver. Now, my original Routmaster screwdriver was it was just naff. Penny sent me this one, as she had lots of spares. However, it was spinning on the shaft, so I've actually glued this and I've managed to get it working. So yeah, I used this screwdriver. It's still not ideal. I don't know if you can see this, but when you line the screw up, the screwdriver is at a slight angle. So that's how you need to screw it. So it's not ideal, but if you're careful, it's perfectly doable. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. And the contrast now with the silver and the red is amazing. Okay, and that was it. That was the finished view for this issue. So we attached the heating line and the water pipes, the license holder, the handle, and we also fitted the side light. So there was it. That was what we did in this issue. So again, I apologise again for not actually filming this, but I hope you can understand why I didn't want to strip this down. There was too many parts. Some of it was push fit. I didn't want to force any of it out. It was a nice, snug, tight fit on mine, so I didn't want to run the risk of loosening things off. So that's why I've done it this way. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, even though it wasn't in as much detail as I'd like. And yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next week with sound.